Hi, my name is Dan Llewellyn. I am with Cohley, and my focus of my topic today is going to be resetting the consumer products growth agenda. What I'd like to do in the next 20 minutes is to be able to take and look at the issues that consumer product companies are facing to actually deliver incremental sales growth and some of the factors that are impeding sales growth and where it's coming from now. And we're going to look at, based upon marketplace and shopper data, where growth really lies and actually give you some recommendations of where to take and focus in 2024. One of the most shocking things that I saw within the last 30 to 60 days is a piece of work that came out by Bain that surveyed executives across the consumer products industry. And when you take a look at this chart, what is shocking is that globally, over 70% of all volume organic sales growth came from price increases. And if you look at the US, it is over 90% of all sales growth during 22-23 came from just price increases. One of the challenges that this represents is that organic growth is elusive, and the ability to be able to take and convert users from other brands over to your brand is not working with marketing tactics. Secondly, what is happening is the inability to be able to take and sell more product to existing customers. So hence, it has been primarily the drivers of growth, where literally almost 20% increases in prices per year over each year has led to this figure right there. It's unsustainable. It can't go on. And when you look at the changes that are happening in consumer shopping behavior, there's no way that the organic sales growth can be left off the table anymore. And it's one of the number one issues that the C-level is facing inside of consumer products companies. One of the other issues, and no surprise here, is that is impacting growth is private label is just absolutely exploding. Annual sales of store brands are up 34% since 2019. When you take a look at this chart and you look at back at 2019 to 23, just within the last year, 4.7% increase in store brand penetration. So literally, it is the zero sum game, and they are definitely taking the share and eating share with consumer product companies, and it's impacting sales growth. When you take the last slide from Bain that looks at the majority of sales growth came from price increases, then you look at the impact that private label is having on actually stealing incremental organic growth. It is definitely leading to a unsustainable position that has got to be figured out by not only retailer sales teams, shopper marketing teams, but also back to the brand teams. And what it's going to take is a fundamental look at disrupting and changing everything from the marketing mix to go to market strategy, category strategy, and how organic sales are going to be captured moving forward by either switching or selling more to existing customers. Shopping behavior is definitely changing quickly with the increases in prices, inflation. You can see from this chart that 34% of shoppers are looking for a lower price solution. And the opt-in for private label, literally the active consideration is almost at 30 points all the way across. So there's huge pressure, not only from the shopper, but also from the retailer channels. The has been the primary driver of the increases of sales. And when you put the three pieces together and you have sales teams that are sitting across from the retailer, it puts them in a very difficult place to be able to take and determine how they are going to take and deliver, other than price, which the retailer is pushing back on, how they're going to deliver growth, not only from a product perspective, but also within the category. The picture gets more complex when you look at the disruption that e-commerce has had. This is actually a very staggering chart. When you take a look at from 2022 to 2024, it is literally a 30% increase in online shopping. Walmart, in their last earnings report, indicated that their e-commerce sales were up 27%. But take a look at 2022, 2023, 2024, and the number is actually about 34% that it is up. When you take a look at the beginning of 2020, when the pandemic started, to 2024, e-commerce literally leapt 10 years within that period of time of what it was projected to be able to take and to do. The disruption isn't just the e-commerce growth that is there, but it is the change in shopper behavior and how they're planning their path to purchase that is resulting in these numbers. This has materially impacted the consumer goods industry in several ways. Number one, they have not been organized. They're not connected with the different groups internally that seamlessly take and address the issue of the disruption with online shopping. And the shopper is definitely out in front of the consumer good company and also in front of the retail with their shopping behavior. The CAGNY, the Consumer Packaged Goods annual conference that is held each year. This is actually a roll-up from the last CAGNY conference by Stratably. And this is shocking. I saw this, it came out about 3 weeks ago. Online sales are outpacing in-store sales by 12x. Sobering. 50% underlined of incremental sales growth is coming from e-commerce. When you put these two together, it is literally lights the consumer products space in the consumer products industry on fire. That everything has been planned, and strategies have been around what happens on in-store, but the sales of online are 12x of what it is over in-store. And the elusive incremental sales growth, it isn't coming from in-store, it's coming from e-commerce. What that does is it positions things for a pretty significant pivot in that now online, and when a shopper comes to be able to, in the path to purchase, and they come to a product page, the product page is now the holy grail for conversion and incremental sales growth. This is actually a chart from the Digital Shelf Institute and Stratably. It looks at the impact of ROAS. And I don't want you to look at the chart just in terms of the impact and the influence on ROAS of the PDP, but I want you to look at the quality of the PDP, the content that is improved on the PDP, and the decrease in ROAS connected to an incomplete PDP. When you look at the numbers of shoppers and the percentage of shoppers, even in a low-cost consumer products category, and I'm just going to go back to where this chart is. Take a look at General Mills, Church & Dwight, Colgate-Palmolive. These aren't large dollar purchases. And when you get the data from the retailer of what the traffic is within the path to purchase up to these PDPs, And you look at the percentage, even in a category like Colgate Palmolive and across their different categories of SKUs that they represent, the PDP is now the ground for conversion. That if somebody is looking at the price value equation, they're coming to the PDP and they're making a decision based on the content that is in a PDP. Should I keep buying the product that I'm currently buying, or is there enough information up on that PDP and the content that is there to cause me to be able to take into to convert? During the pandemic, one of the things that happened is not only the huge increase in e-commerce and online sales, where it leapt literally a decade within that period, and it continues to grow. There was a massive shift with short form video. During COVID, when everybody was locked up, shoppers were all over short form video. And what short form video did is it materially changed how shoppers are making purchase decisions. And you can see that now, and this is feedback from Power Reviews and Bazaar Voice, which they monitor all the PDPs that have ratings of reviews across all the major retail channels that consumer product companies sell into. 86% of consumers now always or regularly are seeking out user-generated videos and photos on the PDP prior to purchase, not brand photos, not influencer-generated photos and videos. These are actual everyday users that they're looking for. They seek out the visual content from people that already purchased the product. They're not interested in the brand supplied content. The data that's underneath this is just super robust. And they are finding that the videos and the photos that they want, they don't want it from influencers, and they're not interested in the brand-centric messaging and positioning. They truly want the users to take and tell the story. What this has done is it has created a massive gap in supply chain of user-generated content from everyday users that are using the product, that brands and consumer product companies are not harnessing, and they don't have a way to generate at scale the videos and the photos from users to be able to take and align up on PDPs. This comes from Power Reviews, and this is based on a recent survey that they did with over 16,000 respondents. And you can see in the path to purchase, no surprise, even in low-cost categories like Colgate, like General Mills, highly considered purchases like Samsung, others in the durable goods category at big box retailers. Consumer ratings and reviews are critical. They want the user-generated photos and videos, and shoppers are still relying on recommendations from friends and family. With the PDP being ground zero, with the huge shift in e-commerce and online sales, take a look at what the impact is. So this is across 25 million online product pages, 3,600 brands and retailer sites. And this is actually from 2022. And the numbers have increased since the last major survey that was done. This looks at the increase in conversion and the sales impact. When user-generated videos from everyday shoppers go up onto a PDP, the product on average across all of the categories that you see experiences 114% conversion lift up on the PDP. The numbers are just stunning. And you can see across the different categories that the more highly considered categories such as consumer electronics is 141% increase in conversion. down to general CPG categories where there's an 84% increase in conversion. Truly, the PDP is now ground zero for consumer products companies to be able to take and harness incremental growth. That's where the increase in overall sales are happening 12x more than what is in store. And that's where 50% of sales growth, incremental sales growth, is coming from with the PDP. And the shopper is rewarding brands and the retailers that are taking and harnessing this content up on the PDP, and they're rewarding them by the conversion up on the site and higher conversion of purchasing online, and also using the content that they find up on the PDP to make the value price trade-off decision of whether they should take and switch to another brand. I have 4 growth recommendations. Private label is definitely a competitor and an opponent when it comes to consumer product growth. An opportunity is there to be able to take and leverage the product, leverage the brand by putting more compelling user-generated videos and photos to show off use case up on the PDP. Traditionally, private label and the retailers, the content is very basic. The shopper has scorecarded and said that what causes them to be able to take and spend more with the brands that enable them to make a better purchase decision faster by aligning the user-generated videos and photos from everyday shoppers. That's a major differentiator. So growth tip number 1 is stand out with your content on the PDP. Figure out how to harness user-generated videos from everyday shoppers and photos up on the PDP to be able to take and stem the erosion from private label, especially as inflation is going to likely continue and shoppers are increasingly more price sensitive. Number 2, one of the secrets in the sauce that is a change in thinking and a change in strategy is let the shopper tell you why to buy. Almost all the content that is up on the PDP is brand-centric content. Leverage shopper content that they generate, not influencer content from everyday users. And the reward is, on average, across all of the major retail channels that consumer product companies sell into, is 114% on average increase in conversion up on the PDP. Third recommendation is leverage the change in shopper behavior with your retailer in omnichannel negotiations. If you're sitting down with your buyer, take and leverage that you are open and willing and have a plan and a strategy to be able to take and align shopper-generated content on the PDPs. If you're selling into the Walmart, to Target, a grocery channel, another big box retailer, taking and putting a target shopper that uses your product, talking about your product, and literally that they bought the product at Target, and taking and putting that up on the PDP, you're bringing thought leadership. You're giving not only the voice of the user of your brand, but the voice of the shopper that purchased the product at the retailer, and leverage that with your buyer. And is most of the sales teams know, and the shopper marketing teams, that all of the retailers are hammering for more video up on the PDP, and leverage your negotiation with your buyer to be able to get increased search visibility with the placement up on the page. Lastly, text ratings and reviews. You've got to get it right. The traffic now up on the PDP with the move to online and to e-commerce has been like never before. It is ground zero for influencing the purchase and influencing and harnessing the conversion. Text ratings and reviews are proven with a one-to-one with conversion. A simple example and just one of many variables around text ratings and reviews, just adding 50 reviews to an early product launch increases the online conversion 30%. And I'm going to give you another metric that's not on the slide that you're looking at. Depending by the category, it also has an impact on in-store sales. So a 30% increase in online conversion is across the board. And so in a food category, it has an in-store multiplier. So you read online or read online, buy offline in-store, it has a multiplier of that online conversion number by 3x. And once again, that data is from Bazaar Voice and Power Reviews. The recommendation is that retailer teams need a team expert or they need a vendor partner to optimize and monitor their text ratings and reviews ongoing. Quick snapshot. Everyone knows that there's pressure on price. The retailers are pushing back. There's pressure from private label. Consumer shopping behavior is materially changed. It's moving in new and different directions. The shopper has made new rules with e-commerce and the digital path to purchase. It is time to take and pivot and look at new thinking and new ways to have the shopper at the center of the model connected to where growth lies. The shopper scorecard has said that they want to hear from people that are everyday shoppers that use the product. They want the videos and the photos and their story to be able to take and listen to it and hear it within the path to purchase so they can make a better purchase decision faster. That's the summary. And at Cohley, that's what we do. We help brands and we help major retailers take and harness the voice of the shopper through video reviews, through video testimonials from everyday users and photos that are aligned across the path to purchase, not only up on the PDP, but back out in the marketing stack and the shopper marketing stack. Thank you very much for your time and consideration. And if you have any questions, you can take and reach out through Conversations on Retail, and happy to answer.